What's up YouTube, Codferman221 here, and welcome to another Company of Heroes 2 online replay for Season 2. Anyway, we're playing with Nick, and we're going against Jordan and Butcherbird. Anyway, it's every faction represented on this match. You usually don't see that. I'm the United States, Barton era. Nick is Russia, the USSR. We have Jordan, who's the good old classic Wehrmacht, and we have Butcherbird, who is the Oberkommando West. Now I like this map, to be honest. I mean, it's a good map, mainly because you have a good fight in this urban city square here, and then you also have the the fuel at the top along with the victory point and at the very bottom. Since you have decided to go airborne, and I will be using airborne in this. I haven't officially covered the doctrine in an official full video, but we'll be using airborne, dropping airborne troops here, and I pretty much use every part of this doctrine, so we'll definitely see when you use the airborne. So one thing to start the U.S. as usual, get about 2 to maybe 3 to 5 rifleman squads. It's really how you need to do that because you cannot get a lieutenant out fast enough. I usually go for the lieutenant and then I skip right to the major to get tanks. But I've seen people go right to the captain, which takes a little while. You can get the Stewart and the howitzer along with anti-tank guns. And this is kind of like the AT. The company command post is basically the AT part of the American forces. You have the captain with 2 bazookas, you have the anti-tank, you have the howitzer, which is good for urban cities, but you also have the Stewart, so kind of like a light tank, like a T-70. But the major is really the way I usually go. It's a great way to get tanks out early. And I'm going against the Wehrmacht. I think it's kind of interesting to see a American player going against the Wehrmacht. And what I recommend if you're going against a US player is I wouldn't say machine gun spam, but I would say get 2 or 3 machine guns. Anyway, my rear echelon troops are engaging the pioneers here. I'm using volley fire. They're going to try to close with me. Volley fire has been reduced, so basically your men aren't very accurate, but it will pin and will suppress and ultimately pin you in the unit. I just don't want these guys, flanking around. So I'm gonna push it. Unfortunately, my men are a little slow to catch up, and he's gonna put his men in this house here. You can see the the kitchen door was there, and they are all nice and set up in the house. So I kind of see the MG get occupied, and there's an MG in this house too. He's trying to flank around and wipe out his pioneers. This first half of the match, I'm gonna get. It's not going to be too good for me, mainly because all the MGs, it's hard for me to deal with that. I do, however, have the grenades. So you can see his MG's focused on this unit, which is good, so I can toss an MG through the window here. Or toss a grenade through the window here as soon as it's done at the barracks. And we have 5 riflemen pouring fire into the house. You can see we're actually killing some men inside the house here, because they only have 2 windows they can shoot at us with. And Nick also has his Maxim there. Grenades in that barn is pretty big. The smaller the house is, the more effective the grenade is. This is what I found. So you can see they have he's a third MG, Jordan, so it's really an MG spam if you think about it. What he's done is pretty much cut us off from fuel, so we're going to have no fuel to begin with, and it's pretty bad. Because frankly, they've taken the whole north, right? So I gotta figure out a way to destroy this MG. We don't have any mortars, unfortunately. We do have the howitzer I could possibly get if I decide to go down the captain line, which I don't usually do. I do have grenades, and I do have smoke. So you can see I have my guys here. And if I can catch these, MGs out in the open like this, it's amazing how my men got suppressed that quickly, but you can see the negative coverage really affected them. And I'm surprised I didn't kill more of those guys. Anyway, I can't get Pathfinders. These guys are actually decent units. They're pretty good for recon. If you, I'll talk more about when I get them, but basically you can put down one of these kind of like radio tower kind of things. This is what you call it, and it can guide your paratroopers in. So it's pretty cool. They're also pretty accurate, and they can be invisible if they're in cover when they fire. And we can see them do a full assault on this house here. So I'm flanking from this window. My rear echelon are going to be the main focus, and then I have these guys from the back here. And I'm just going to toss lots of grenades in this house. I want to make this position unattainable for this guy. He's kept me off the field for 4 minutes here. Keep in mind, we are shooting in the window here, And I'm waiting. I don't have any more grenades, unfortunately. But we're doing actually a lot of damage. I'm trying to wipe out this MG, because if I can wipe out that MG, I could definitely put it in the house and use it to help defend this area. Hey, so that's just pretty much what you gotta deal with MGs if you can. Definitely, you know, surround the building, attack from multiple directions. You see there's dead Germans outside and in this house here. Interesting the trees like through that house. Have you ever noticed that? Like, I don't know, it's kind of fun. This game's fun to like zoom in on like the details. Anyway, Nick has a Maxim in this house and is using it to suppress the Storm Pioneers. Double Storm Pioneers. I'm seeing that start more and more often on Code of Heroes. It can be good, but keep in mind these guys are 40 manpower per man, and you really have to use these guys to flank, like he's doing here, not just frontally assault machine guns. But you can see, you know, the Soviet teams do have larger crews, so they will be firing back with their rifles. But you can see the house can't see him at all because it's more like a shack, and he's forced to pull back, and he might lose his mortar here, and he does. Anyway, I'm pushing up. I'm really trying to wipe out this officer. He's doing the concentrate fire, and that's what it's. Well, actually, I had to retreat there because I actually killed the officer here, but you know the grenadier's still in that unit. Anyways, a little bit of a double team in the south here, and my men are just getting. I'm throwing grenades. You know, I'm going against. So it's like the MGs in the beginning. You know, with 3 MGs, and now it's like the grenadiers. Very heavy tier 1 start from this guy, which is rather interesting. He's even as an officer. Let's just go double check on Jordan here. So Jordan is reinforcing his artillery officer. So that's 3 MGs he has. And you can see the whole top part of the map is empty. And what made they built no kind of bunkers or defenses to defend that top area. So that was called, yeah, I was right, concentrated fire, which is pretty deadly. So now they're going to take this field because I really don't have anything. I have some pathfinders right here. And you can see, let's just double check what the official thing's called. It's called a beacon. So you can set up beacons, which pretty much also allows paratroopers to reinforce in the field, which is awesome. So that's something. You can see I did drop in 50 cal machine gun. I'm going to try to, you know, I'm going to man that. I guess it's cheaper. Well, you don't get the crew, but it's cheaper to drop the MG. I want to put an MG in this building and kind of like fortify down here. I do have a lieutenant out and my pathfinders, and keep in mind when these guys are in cover, they are invisible. I do have those Springfields. It looks like they have 2 Springfields and 2 carbines. I was gonna say the paratroopers here look awesome. Anyway, we are in heavy cover, and they're launching rifle grenades. That's also very good when we're clumped up. Does a lot of damage, and he has his officer here, but I'm gonna flank him. And then so I drove him out of this machine gun nest, right? And he goes into another one. I'm just like, I cannot catch a break with the machine guns on this side. Anyway, more grenades. Here's what's gonna happen. Well, that wasn't a very good grenade throw. Here's what's gonna happen. Finally, I put an MG in this house, and I'm like, he's gonna get a taste of his own medicine when he tries to take this. I'm just going to be rushing for a Sherman here or something to deal with all these MGs, because that's all I really need. Anyway, and then we have the Storm Pioneers and Panzer Fusiliers on this side. It's not looking good right now. We have no VPs. You know, we're holding 1 field. They hold most of the map. Well, I guess it's pretty even on this map down here. Nick is using his machine gun rather. Oh, nice. Is that their own artillery? Using this artillery gun to support him. He's got to fall back. Those Panzer Fusiliers are very deadly at long range. Especially when they have the Gevers, which is 90 munitions. I've debated, like, if that's good. I actually wiped him out. I've debated if that's... okay, so, really quickly. So this is US Airborne. You want to get behind the enemy lines, especially on field points. You can see my guy kind of hit the house there. When you deploy paratroopers, you want to put them in the zone with the least amount of red, because they'll show red like they could fall and get killed on these trees. I've seen paratroopers go down to half strength before because they're landing in a bad zone. And certain amounts are better for paratroopers than others. Like around here might not be a good area to put paratroopers in. Anyway, finally have a machine gun in this house. Keep in mind, I am taking their fuel right now. I don't know what the hell that was. That was like, I don't know where he got that. Oh, that was from the officer, I think, right? No? The officer got killed again. I think that was the officer's smoke. Anyway, the smoke only lasts for so long. We do a 50 cal. I mean, the officer's been getting killed a lot in that unit. He just gave up completely, and I do more riflemen here. But you can see we're down to 400 points, but I do have some very capable paratroopers from, I believe it's the, they have a patch on. Should be on their left shoulder here. Yep, Screaming Eagles. So we do have paratroopers in, and that's going to take the Northern VP. And as soon as I can, I'm going to try to upgrade these guys. To, I want them to kind of hold their own. So you have 4 riflemen and a lieutenant. I have a pretty big force up here. Well, I have a pretty big force in general. I'm going to try to get my men behind some light cover. And these guys need to like move forward. They are going to lose at this ranged battle. And you can see they're doing some damage because we're not in great cover, but we're definitely going to win this fight. So down here, it's kind of like the MGs, you know, you can't assault my place, I can't assault yours. The MG's facing the wrong way. And you can see I'm going to try to, you know, wipe out this light artillery support gun. By now all his guys have MGs. This guy loves MGs. So I'm completely behind these guys. I'm just gonna, you know, I'm surrounding his MG. I'm keeping him busy on this side. I would never suggest dropping an MG, or I would never suggest dropping paratroopers near enemy troops. You know, they're meant to go behind the enemy lines like this. And look at my guys point blank. We actually wiped these guys out with our Thompson. Anyway, so I threw a grenade, wiped out the MG team there, which he remans again. And he's using the half track. Like, he's very, you know, he's using the officer well, right? But he's just so heavy tier 1 that, you know, basically Sherman comes out and he's screwed because all he has is machine guns and grenadiers. Speaking of a first tank coming out, you can see Nick gets an AT gun up and a Jagdpanzer comes out. I wouldn't suggest getting a Jagdpanzer unless you saw an enemy, some kind of enemy armor. Anyway, I don't want to lose my MG. He did put a flame upgrade on this. He's going to take back our fuel. But it's okay. I'm linking up the victory point here and going to link up the fuel up here. No further attempts to take up north, except there's a large party coming up. The thing is, my paratroopers are distracting large amounts of his infantry if they push up. Like, he's going to start sending parties to attack him. He's going to chase me. He's going to get a little cocky here, you know. I'm going to drop an AT gun back at base and use rear echelon troops, which are fully reinforced, to pick it up. You can see Nick has a half track, which he is going to upgrade with the anti-air package with the quad 50 cals. So here's my AT. See, I don't even need this captain thing. I can make, you know, an AT gun. I have machine guns. I'm dropping. You know, you can drop this at the front lines, or it's really good if you drop it to Soviet, you know, to conscripts, right? Like a 4v4. So we're getting 19 fuel a minute. They're gonna push on with their little, as you call it, almost like a mobile strike force here. You can see Nick's doing a good job trying to hold the center, but he's getting outflanked. He needs to pull back. He really needed a tank. And I was wondering why that Maxim was there, but I have to fall back on my own. I'm going to move out my own AT here, and I'm going to, you know, start getting my forces back in the field. I just don't want them to get burned by that half track. Like, you mind, an anti-air package will definitely beat this half track. As it should. That's quad 50 cals. The armor is just not strong enough on this. And by the way, these half tracks are quite good against infantry. And you can see those guys just got, look at that, 19 kills. These shock troops just obliterated those infantry. Those guys just came out. Look at all the dead Germans right here. It's like a massacre. Those are those Panzer Fusiliers and the infantry. Ah, yes, the Storm Pioneers. Like, these guys all just got wiped out pretty much. Anyway, a Panzer IV comes out roughly around the time that my Sherman is being produced. The enemy's taking the north. They are going to start, so they're going to have both fuels again, which is not good. Thankfully, Nick started building some fuel caches. He has the second one of these half tracks here. He's just trying to take out the infantry, really. You know, I'm like a mobile. Like, if he moves up here, he can definitely take those guys out. You can see our rifle grenade and the anti-tank grenade bounced off there. And my AT gun is going to become stuck. Not right now, but like during, like, it can't. It's weird. Like, it does. It's like stop. I have to leave this here like the rest of the match. It's my AT. You can see how they're stuck there, right? And all I have to do is just go back and forth. I mean, even new players know how to do that. The thing he doesn't realize, though, is that there's a Sherman right there that's going to chase him down. And look at that. He's reinforcing his AT, so there's a Vet 3 AT gun. He's going to run. I was hoping to get him, but you can see our anti-tank rifle grenade missed. It's not like a Panzerfaust, which heat seeks. I know it did not heat seek in real life, but in this game it seems to do. If you get the animation off, even if the tank's out of the line of fog of war, you know, boom, it hits it all the time. So that's sunk. So I do have my airborne. I actually have a lot of infantry back at base. Now I'm going to start just pushing up. I'm afraid I'm going to get Fausted here. But if I can kill this officer, I will. And I do. And I almost wipe out that other squad. That was a nice hit. The guy gets stuck on some trees there and I wipe out that. So I just wiped out an officer and a grenadier squad. And look, he's using very good use of the incendiary barrages, the incendiary rounds for the MG. But come on, I'm going to switch over to high explosive shells here and destroy this bin. But now for a random cargo truck comes up, I'm like, okay. You see my American soldiers out Wafa? So you can see that strafing run actually wiped out my infantry, so I have to keep my infantry back. So you can see Nick up here with his double quad mounts is just forcing the enemy back. I'm going to start a high explosive shells here in a minute. But yeah, it's a great way to get rid of the MGs. He's doing some damage, but it is a tank. You know, the incendiary rounds are pretty good against the light armor. He's actually hitting me back there too, which is interesting. So he's down to one man. And he's gonna try to retreat from the house. Somehow he gets around out back, and my tank's pathfinding is a little weird. So he's very good if I wipe out that Vet 2 machine gun. And you can see one shot with the high explosive shell there I switched over. It's going to do quite a lot of damage. That airplane is still strafing. I did collapse that house. So you can see I'm using my paratroopers again up here. I am capturing the fuel back from them. It's just harassment. And these paratroopers will be able to hold their own if I give them some light machine guns. Anyway, my Sherman goes to flank. I want to help out Nick here. And now that he's focused on me, Nick's going to send in his damage T-34. They did Panzerfaust me there, not a big deal. Well, I lose my tank, it's a big deal. But he's going to try to withdraw. The T-34 did hit that half track there, and he's going to fall all the way back. I'm okay. I'm going to hop out my men and do a critical repair here in a second. I figure another force is coming in. It is. So my paratroopers are almost about to die here. So I'm going to use the repair critical. Hop in. And get the hell out of here. Because there's an enemy force coming around here. I guess we're going to sit here. Once I saw his tank blow up, I'm like, okay. Time for me to leave. You can see Nick is having his quad, mount troops go towards the battle zone here. His double half tracks will come behind and just decimate. I mean, if we were infantry spamming, yeah, they'd totally wipe us out, but look at this, 2 of these. I didn't think this actually suppressed units, but I guess it does. That makes sense. And artillery's going in, or some kind of airstrike. Yep, great tactics there. Flank. Have the double quad mounts, wipe out the infantry force, and the AT gun is gone too. As I'm managing down south, I'm taking a look at this victory point. I grabbed the victory point up here, and I'm going to capture this point down here. Now we have to deal with 2 Panzer IV. It did blow up one of the half tracks. I haven't hopped out of here. I don't even have. I have regular shells, but I'm trying to like move this gun, and it's just legit stuck. Like it will not move. And it's abandoned. It served its purpose. Wow, do you see how the gun turret like flipped and the guy died? And he destroyed it. Keep in mind, this was the tank that almost died the first time. I do have an ambulance. I figure, you know, I can spare 10 fuel to repair, well, heal up my men. Ambulances are best used if you can afford them early. I do a Vet 2 tank though. 21 infantry kills, 1 vehicle destroyed. Now I'm going to try to launch a anti-tank rifle grenade, but we have low health and we're just getting destroyed by those machine guns. And yeah, we're dead. So I have my lieutenant back here, pretty much behind enemy lines. And this isn't very good here, yeah. He's just going to have to run. It's just a solid retreat there. And I can't really act with my Shermans yet because I don't have any infantry. And I can get Panzerfaust by one of those guys, outmaneuver, and just lose both my Shermans there. And you can see the large blob assault force is going to head back up north after I've connected those points and have both fuel sources. Well, now that they just took our fuel away, they're going to push up. We're kind of in ambush mode. It almost feels like the how do you say this? It almost feels like the Hetros. No, I'm going to pull back. I'm not going to get outflanked by this guy. You know, and if I lose the tank, so be it, but so, you know, and you can see the anti-tank guns are going. I'm just trying to preserve my army. You can see how badly outnumbered, well, just how damaged my tanks are. He's going to withdraw again using Blitz. And I'm going to drop an AT gun here, man it with some more of these rear echelon troops, and hopefully this one won't glitch out on me like this one did. I tried to give this several orders of just stuck. That's a glitch. Because these guys are Vet 3, so they make them harder to hit apparently. Anyway, I decide to try to launch my airborne into the field here, and they're going to get pretty much wiped, so I have to fall back. I did kill some men though and damage their health with the that grenade there. So he's trying to repair his tanks. And we're about to have a tank showdown. Like you can see we're both just repairing, getting ready to go for round 2. And by the way, you can see that Bird is saving up for a Yog Panzer. He's floating 1,400 manpower. Yeah, 1,400 manpower. A lot of fuel. I'm not floating. Nick is floating a little bit. So yeah, that's how you're going to use airborne. The Pathfinder is going to help set up locations. I didn't necessarily do that in this thing. I could have set one up there. But definitely give them Shermans. They're pretty decent. And I have to fall back. I'm going to lose this squad. You can see how quickly these guys are, you know, just cut down practically with the concentrate fire, because that applies to all the infantry and anyone near the officer. So I have an anti-tank gun here. I'm baiting him to move forward. Then I see Nick moving forward with the C-34, and I'm like, be careful, Nick, you're gonna get Fausted. And I'm like, okay, I guess we're attacking here. The good thing is that well, one, there's an AT there. I'm not liking this engagement at all, but I'm just gonna flank and go after that Vet 2 tank. This AT cannot see me, and you can see we're hitting its rear armor. And then my AT got wiped out. There's a critical one. I'm going to man it with more rear echelon troops here. So I'm going to ignore the AT gun, which is now trying to target me. And you can see I did hit that, destroy its main gun. He's in trouble because this is a retreat path, you know. I'm going to make sure I try to get both these tanks. Even if I take some shots, it's not going to kill me. This anti-tank gun, hopefully. So I'm going to swing this guy out here. this tank. I believe this guy can finish off the Vet 1 tank. And yeah, we flanked it and we wiped that guy out. Keep in mind that the Russian incendiary barrage does not hurt any infantry. You can see his truck here got destroyed also. I didn't even realize that. And now it's time to repair. So these guys actually have a decent amount of kills. It just seems like Jordan blobbed up on this match, or not Jordan. Bird blobbed up on this match, and you know he's effective, right, when he does that. But it's gonna be countered by, you know, especially the Russians with the half track. You can damage it, right? But still, shock troops are gonna get up close. You're gonna get suppressed. Vet 3 grenades, like there's definitely ways to counter these blobs, and you know if you blob up, you're gonna get in trouble. I mean, you saw that attack on this house earlier, you know, 1 unit from here, 1 unit from there, 1 unit from this side, like, that's how you take a house. You know, if I charge the machine gun all at once, you know. I mean, he really had no resistance to the north. He could have kept pushing and attacked the fuel caches and stuff, but he just kind of blobbed there. And now he has the, I'm thinking in my head, you know, okay, probably take back that northern fuel. I'm definitely gonna, this whole south is pretty much fallen here. And dun dun dun, the Yog Panther. This is a brand new tank in the Western Armies DLC. And it's not a King Tiger, but keep in mind this tank has no turrets. It's basically like an ISU-152 kind of, or a big Su-85, or like a Stug, kind of a bagged Stug. Well, a great Stug because it can't maneuver very well, right? If you hit this thing with its, you know, hurt its engine, right? But it's a Pack 44 main gun, and it takes 2 hits to kill a Sherman here. And we're gonna hop onto our Shermans here. I'm gonna go after this lone tank that's all by itself, just charging in enemy lines. I don't understand why it just charges in by itself. Like I obviously had some AT, you know, I have machine guns here. And I was like, what the hell just hit my rear armor? This tank hit me from all the way over there. So I see that I'm almost dead. I'm just like, oh my gosh, my Vet 3 tank like that. And that's when I see his Yog Panther. And he does have the concentrate fire thing, so he's doing a good job using that. I gotta pull my tanks back. I'm gonna figure out how to deal with this new threat. They're gonna focus on the south now. And Nick's gonna have to come help me, otherwise I'm in trouble. Yep, and they're killing my lieutenant there. I have 1 machine gun in a damage billing. Good smoke barrage, but he came out of it, and my men can start picking him down, picking him off. Now I am repairing. I also have a Jackson out, and then Nick does have a T-34. Wow, they're killing my men. I'm gonna try to withdraw this AT gun further back. I mean, it is Vet 1. If I can save it, I will. But it's like trying to shoot those guys. So keep in mind, a Yog Panther needs to be protected by infantry, which is good here. And if it gets around it, just like an ISU-152, it can't turn its turret, and it's in trouble. So he's charging all the ATs here. All of Nick's ATs. And my men are burning up in the flames, which isn't good. I'm going to send my Shermans over here just to try to massacre this infantry. Look at them. Look at this blob. I have my light machine gun paratroopers there also with 2 Brownings. And look at that. Utterly massacred. I mean, yes, Nick lost an AT gun there. And he lost, you know, some shock troops, but... Alright. And then the second, you know, it's like round 2 with the blob. Well, that wasn't really a blob there, but... He's I don't know, that's cool. You can actually salvage AT guns. Interesting. So I'm just gonna have my, you can see the AT gun just bouncing off. I quickly repaired the damage to my tank there. So I'm now calling in the rocket strafe. And you can see that's gonna damage this. It's pretty deadly. It costs a lot. And this is my time to move in. I have all my tanks moving in. Just getting more of a corner happen. Here's a problem. He backed himself into this corner with line of sight issues, right? You can only kind of see forward. And I'm just going to kind of turn. I might bet 3 Sherman behind him. I'm launching smoke, and I just got wiped out there. And I'm like, tanks, stop looking over here. The big tank's right here. So I'm behind him now, and he can't really do anything. He can't turn. And if he does, I'm just going to back up and start hitting with the Jackson. So you can see I'm like maneuvering back more than my tanks here. I'm just going to wipe out his tank here pretty much. So the Jagd Panther is going to get killed here. And the Jackson's probably going to fire the final shot there. Some kind there. And then, yeah. Then this guy came back and wiped him out. And that's when they surrendered. So good game to our opponents. You can definitely see how the Airborne was effective in the north by, you know, cutting off their fuel and just making it hard for them to have a substantial armor force there. The Pathfinders I used a little bit, but definitely I gotta show you a video where I set up those what are they called? Those the beacons, yes. And then you can see I dropped the 50 cal and also the ATs. And I was even dropping more paratroopers around here. Or I was gonna drop them. They were like, yeah, they were dropping up north. I hope you guys enjoyed. Conformant 221 signing off. And remember, don't have your Jagd Panther or your Jagd Tiger on its own, because it'll get surrounded like what I did and destroyed, and it'll just be a burning wreck. Anyway, Conformant 221 signing off. Hope you enjoyed.